Hi, Shane from Shane Plays here. Going to be talking about Damage #1. This is not only the first issue of Damage, but it's the first of these new age of DC Heroes books that are going to be dropping on us in the next few weeks. These are springing from the pages of Dark Knight's Metal, which I'll talk about that here in a moment. Basically, the new age of heroes is this series of books that DC is launching new and exciting characters or new and exciting takes on existing characters that will stand alongside their existing iconic characters in normal continuity. So you've probably, if you follow comics at all, you've probably seen the ad, the picture. I'll try to find it and put it up where it's like, you know, all of the landscape with, you know, like Superman and Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman mixed in with these new characters, like they're all standing together. So I'm going to talk about Damage. Before I talk about Damage itself, the issue, I do want to talk about the overall new age of heroes initiative, my thoughts on that the DC's doing, and then also a little bit about Metal. Now, I'm going to ding DC a little bit. One, because Metal, this stuff is quote unquote, and you can see it, you know, on the front, it says dark. It says right there, you know, Metal right there under the, you know, the issue number and the price. I don't know anything about these characters, and Metal hasn't finished yet. So I don't know where they came from. And that's kind of weird to me. I'm sure it'll all fill in down the road. How do they tie into Metal? I don't know. I would have preferred it personally for Dark Knight's Metal to end and these, whatever springboard these characters are coming out of, to happen. My other thing on this new age of heroes, it feels too soon to me. We just did Rebirth. We're just now really getting our legs under us from Rebirth, where, you know, we didn't reboot the DC universe, but tonally, you know, character-wise and the tone of it, you rebooted. I mean, you didn't technically reboot, but you rebooted, reset a lot of relationships and storytelling and things. And we're still getting our legs in from that, legs under us from that. And then you're going to throw Doomsday Clock on us, where you're bringing the Watchmen universe, which is, I still don't do that. If you're going to do it, you know, what I've seen so far is good, but don't do that. But you're going to do it. So here it comes. So now we're getting, we got Dark Knight's Metal rocking things while Rebirth has really just gotten our feet under us. And then here comes Doomsday Clock. And now we have a whole series of new books coming, introducing new characters. It all feels very rushed to me. And that's all I'll say about that. That's okay. So let's, you know, that's not really about Damage itself, but since Damage is part of the overall effort that DC is doing right now, I just wanted to mention those things. Okay, so Damage. First of all, let's take a look. This is the Hulk. Let's make no bones about it. At least half of these new age of DC Heroes books that are coming are basically analogs or riffs or whatever, or homages, if you want to call that, to Marvel books. Damage is obviously the Hulk. It's a military guy who turns into the Hulk, and the army's chasing him down. You know, it's the Hulk. In fact, you know, it's like, oh, he's like gray looking and everything. Well, the first issue or two, I know at least the first issue of the Hulk was gray, and he would only turn into the Hulk at night. It was like kind of a werewolf thing. And then when the sun rose, the Hulk would go away. Now, the thing with Damage is, I think once every 12 hours, if I'm reading it right, or maybe once every 24 hours, Damage can transform into the Hulk thing for like 1 hour. And there's a countdown that they show in the pages and everything. You know, but yeah, you've got, you've got the Terrifics, which that's the main book that everybody's really excited about right now for, you know, the new age of DC Heroes. And it's basically, you know, DC saying, well, Marvel, if you're not going to do the Fantastic Four, we will, because you got Mr. Terrific. Terrific basically is Mr. Fantastic. Think about it. Terrific, fantastic, right? You got Mr. Terrific as Mr. Fantastic. You've got Plastic Man also kind of filling that Mr. Fantastic role. You've got Phantom Girl as the Invisible Woman, and then you have Metamorpho as kind of the Thing. And then also, I guess he can kind of do the Human Torch a little bit because he can change his body in different chemicals and elements. But they're doing the Fantastic Four. Then you've got Sideways, which is basically Spider-Man. And then you've got The Silencer, which seems to be kind of a Punisher type book. Now, some of the other books, The Unexpected, Curse of Brimstone, Immortal Men, I'm not sure if those are direct Marvel analogs, but these others are. And then you got the New Challengers, which that's the Challengers of the Unknown. And if you don't know, like the Fantastic Four was kind of based on the Challengers of the Unknown. So it could be argued that that's kind of a Marvel book too. I don't know. Anyway, they could be amazing, but it does seem like that DC is either having a little bit of fun or just directly shooting across the bow of Marvel, because Marvel's caught a lot of crap in the past couple of years for what a lot of people say is, you've gotten away from your core characters and books and stuff like that. So I don't know what DC's doing, but there's no getting around the fact that there's a Marvel reflection, ripple, whatever you want to call it, going on here. Okay, Damage itself, basically, and they all have these number ones are going to have these what they call trifold covers. So on the inside of the front cover, you get this sort of trifold thing, and it shows, the Suicide Squad kind of dropped there, which is, kind of foreshadowing probably what's going to happen, because the Suicide Squad shows up at the end of the book. Now, I'm not going to say everything in this book, to avoid spoilers, but essentially, it appears to be a military guy who volunteered for some sort of procedure, and that procedure turns him basically for an hour. Like I said, it's either every 24 hours or every 12 hours. I haven't figured that out yet, into basically the Hulk. And the Hulk's running around, smashing stuff up. And, the soldier's voice is real tiny, weak inside the creature's head, saying, don't kill that person or leave that person alone. They hint a little bit at, who did this to him. And there seems to be some team members that follow him around with armor, so that if he gets out of control, they can try to put him down. And one of those team members is very jealous, wanted to be Damage himself. So it definitely seems like some sort of procedure experiment that turns somebody into Damage, rather than being like a metahuman, right out the bat. You see here, you can see Damage, great artwork. You can see Damage punching his way out of that C-130, that poor herky bird, got a big hole knocked in the side of it. Art's great. The story's good. It's Tony S. Daniel doing the art, if I understand right, and Robert Venditti doing the writing. Now, DC's doing this new thing where they're really pumping the artists. So, and a lot of times the artists are getting first billing now before the writers. And in this case, in the credits there, it actually says storytellers, Tony S. Daniel and Robert Venditti. So it doesn't say, writer, artist, which, okay, sure, fine. I mean, I think it's okay to acknowledge this person was the writer and this person was the artist. But anyway, there's some good fighting. There's some good carnage that you would expect from a Hulk book. I'm not going to get, this is a Hulk book at this point. It may diverge later, sometimes stuff that, seems to be, and by the way, Black Lightning, the TV show, the first episode was legit. If you haven't seen it, check it out. There's some other, artwork. This lady here with the eye patch, that's a female colonel, seems to be the person with their hands on the strings of this whole thing. One thing I really liked, I don't know if you can see that or not, but the Buddha sound effects are in between the rotor blades of the helicopter. I'm not sure I've ever seen that done in a comic book before. I liked that. The art's good, exciting. you know, they're setting up some interesting stuff here. Again, I don't know. Do we need the new age of heroes right now? I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But I mean, it was a good solid read. And then I will spoil that the Suicide Squad shows up on the last page with Amanda Waller. You know, or not the last page, but one close to the last page. So you basically get, you know, kind of introduced to the character of Damage. You do see who Damage is in real life at one point during the book. You get introduced to the person that holds his strings, his puppet strings, and then, you know, somebody who seems to be very jealous of him that could be a rival of some sort. And you get to see some carnage and an idea of, oh, he can only change into Damage for like an hour. But what you don't know is what kind of procedure led to this, that sort of thing. So, you know, I liked it. And there does seem to be, I don't know if you can see these little red things here, maybe even some like biomechanical, I don't know. And they haven't revealed yet how this ties into the Dark Multiverse. So one thing that was a very nice surprise in this that I probably liked even more than the Damage issue itself is you get a sneak preview of the Terrifics, which is coming in February. And that definitely directly ties into the Dark Multiverse. So if I had to, and like I said, I want to, you know, I'm not trying to go too into read the whole issue for you, but the writing and the art was solid. I would say that the art, I would give like an 8. The writing, I would give a 6 or a 7. I just hope that, you know, but they're not fooling anybody. This is the Hulk. I just hope that after they establish, hey, we're having fun with a Hulk concept, you know, they take it into a more complex, you know, direction down the road.
Hulk! Smash!